reviewed by the former president President Ramos, former Prime
Ma'am, ang
Minister of the
hinahanap niyo po
Philippines,
Arellano po?
Mr. Cesar Virata, and the current Senator Bang. So basically, the focus in time of the Philippines had the Lituan device, Jose Lipiste. And again, this afternoon, we'll be giving away 5 books. So, are you guys ready to hear the first 2 names? So, we'll be having our first 2 books. Ready? First, we have someone from Maritime Academy of Asia and the Pacific. Please raise the hands of those. Mr. Joseph Alejandro and Tuna. Yung making the price data sa registration. Okay? Next one is we have someone from Rizal Technological University. Please raise your hands. From Rizal Technological University. Nasa loob na ba sila or baka nasa labas pa? Anyway, we have Angelo Nakar. So, those are our first 2 names. So, kung hindi na tawag yung pangalan nyo, may na tayo mamaya. Yung tatlong pangalan nito, great. So, again, the winners will gain the prize in the registration booth. And we'll be starting the program in a while. So, thank you so much.
Please all rise for the Philippine national anthem. Please be seated. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Philippine Youth Congress. May we call on stage the convener of New Gen Rocks, Mr. Rainer Sanchez.
Hello. Good afternoon again. Again, I'm Rainer Sanchez, and I'm the head of the talking from Fusion Labs. And our partner for this afternoon is Youth Goal Philippines. And I believe that most of us are here because of the poll that we saw on Facebook. Tama ba? Marami sa atin. And something that I believe then that enticed us to click the poll and look at the description and go to the link with the pictures of the four presidential candidates. Tama? But Without further ado, I will say that unfortunately, all of the candidates declined for today because of prior commitments. However, coming from the organizing end, we saw the passion, we saw the dedication of the youth sector on wanting to have this conversation with you. That is why sabi namin, hindi pwedeng i-cancel ulit natin yung event. Hindi pwedeng baguhin natin yung date just to fit the convenience of these presidential candidates. So what we saw with the Philippine Youth Congress is that it will not just be a one-time event. Because we believe that youth agenda or the issues of the youth or the issues that affects the youth should not just be tackled in one event. It should be something that is one of the topics that we are talking about in these national elections. And for this afternoon, we'll be having the first part of the Philippine Youth Congress series, and we'll be having the Filipino Youth Agenda. Expect na ngayong hapon, mag-uusap lang tayo. Expect na ngayong hapon, we'll be having this conversation. Magkakaroon tayo ng panel coming from different youth sectors and youth organizations. And pag-usapan natin, ano ba yung mga issues na to? At importante ba, itong mga issues ay ipapakita natin sa kabataan? And we highly advise and we highly encourage everyone to approach the mic if ever meron kayo insight, meron kayo question, mamaya hapon. Or this afternoon. But let's have a very, very simple rule for this social conversation that we'll be having. It's something that I adopted from the political party I ran, sa university where I came from. And we call it one-mouth rule. And I believe it's self-explanatory. One-mouth rule is self-explanatory. Let's wait for the other person speaking, and then it's the time to engage in our intellectual discourse or anong gusto natin sabihin. But before we proceed to our topics, if you are online right now, or if you have access to internet, please engage with our discussion using the Youth Agenda, hashtag Youth Agenda 2016 on Twitter. Before introducing to you our list of our panelists for this afternoon, let's take a few minutes to talk about these significant numbers that I will be showing you. First is this number. 1:1. Any brave soul who would like to approach the microphone and give an insight o magbigay ng ano sa tingin niya yung significance ng number na 1:1 din sa pag-usapan natin sa youth agenda, sa national election. Okay, sir? One vote is to one voice. Exactly. Because on May 9, 2016, thank you so much, thank you. Exactly. Because on May 9, 2016, that will be the only day, or I believe that ideally, principally, that will be the only day all Filipinos are equal. Because one person or one voice is equal to one vote. Their social status, their educational attainment, doesn't have any control dun sa number ng boto nila. Na hindi dahil mayaman sila is tatlo boto nila. No. One registered voter is equal to one vote. And that day is very important, not just for our country, of course, but especially for our sector. Because I want us to see today and 6 years from now, where are we? And that president, that vice president, those senators that we will be electing will be a big factor dun sa development na mararanasan natin bilang parte ng kabataan. Now, next figure that I will be showing is this. 22M. Again, our second soul will approach the microphone. May gulo mo pero please say your name and organization or school to talk.
It's Carla. I'm from the Philippines.
Okay.
I'm the officer of college for Alliance of Business and Administration. And for the total number of youth registered voters.
It's something that the company said, 37% of that 56 million registered voters. Tayo. So, okay, 22 million tayo. Anong significance ito? This is where I will go to my third figure. The thing is, because, again, who is another brain soul? Na mag-connect ng 22 million, ito sa 15 million. Pinakita ko. Anyone can see your spaces. But we have, again, brain souls who would like to take a guess or share their insight. What does this number signify? We have a question to win presidency. I'm looking for a more definite answer. Sir, please.
I'm Serpent from Martin Academy, Pacific, located in Bataan. 15 million votes for Pinoy last 2010 election.
And that's the number that elected the current president of the Philippines. And we are 7 million more than that. Now, I will give back the question. Do you think that we deserve the time of these presidential candidates? I see a consensus in the room. But yes, we do. We are not just a number. Our national hero said we are the future of this land. So yung 22 million na pinakita ko kanina is a number that has the capacity, that has the capability to really dictate this election. For example, this number can elect the next president of the Philippines. And we, coming from Eugene Ross and in behalf of Youth Work Philippines, we are very much privileged to have you here and have this conversation with us this afternoon. And siguro just to get more insight from our audience right now, masasabi ba natin itong 22 million vote na to is a united vote? Masasabi ba natin it's a block vote? I heard a no from the audience, pero pag gusto lumapit sa akin, say, bakit oo? Bakit hindi? Anyone? Masasabi ba natin na it's a strong number, 22 million, pero mag-i-elect ba siya? Or kumbaga, masasabi ba natin isang solidong boto siya? Anyone from the audience who would like to share an insight with that? Okay, I know na baka hindi makatulog yung gusto magsalita kayo eh. Baka i-chat ko kami mamaya sa Facebook namin pag hindi sabi, diba sila? Hindi lang. Okay, please.
So I'm Anderson, one of the representatives of Philippines. Nasasabi ko pa na hindi magiging solido yung 2 milyong voto. Sapagkat ang bawat kapatalo ay hindi lang perspektibo sa mga kandidato. At naniniwala din ako na iba sa akin yung influensyahan ng mga taong pagkalit sa akin. Lalo-lalo na ang pamilya natin. Kasi ang lihan, pinilitahan pa ng ating mga magulang. Kung sino yung kilala ng ating mga magulang, siya lang yung ating binobo. So para sa akin, hindi ko siya magiging solido.
It's a very good answer. Please, let's give any more insights? Yeah. Okay, please.
Ito po ang po from Chairman Colangala, Susunod. For me po, hindi ko din spaghetti is hindi ko din solid yung 22 million. Kasi bawat youth may kanya-kanyang naisip na problema ng youth sector na dapat ay sa magiging susunod na presidente. And bawat presidential goals natin, presidential candidate ay may kanya-kanya din kumbaga focus na gusto nila i-address. And siguro din, siguro yung magsasabi kung sino po boto ng 22 million. Pero magkakaiba pa din.
It's a very good insight coming from the two answers. Totoo naman, may iba't ibang ideology, may iba't ibang perspektibo ng mga kabataan sa pagtalakay ng mga issues na meron tayo ngayon. And huwag na natin patagalin, I hope that you guys have reserved questions and are excited to ask questions and give insight this afternoon because I will be calling our panel. And first, let's start with do we have here Sir Vic Buenaventura? Right now, we have him with us. He's from Bangkok. So, sir, please. Oh, sorry. Okay. How about Mr. Sorry, Mika Hito? Kasama na ba natin? Okay. Most Reverend Archbishop Emerson Beriones from Marikina Youth Leadership Conference. Sir. Mr. Mark Peñaflor from Greenpeace. How about Sir Leon Flores? So, we have three. Now, how about Sir Paolo Saberon? Tama ba yan siya? Yes, so, Mr. Vic Buenaventura. Now we're just waiting for. Now, again, good afternoon, please introduce yourself.
Good afternoon, Youth Philippines. Okay, I'm the Archbishop Emerson Beriones from Filipino Youth Leadership Conference. I'm not a Catholic bishop, I'm an Orthodox bishop. Sabi ko nga dun sa mga kasama ko, I'll be having my last year as youth because I'm 34 by December. Pero sabi ko, this is not the end of my days. So, maybe the next 6 years will be our new beginning. Nakakalungkot para sa akin kasi hindi natin makakasama yung mga presidentiables. Pero hindi nila nakikita yung dalawang figure na nasa screen mo. Nakakapanghinayang yan. No? But siguro, sabi nga ni Sir, the next few, this is the first of many. Sana makadalo sila sa mga susunod. On behalf of the MYLC and Marikina Junior Police, maraming salamat sa pakinig.
Afternoon, everyone. I'm a representative from Greenpeace. We are having now the first national youth congress on good nutrition and ecological agriculture. So we are here to inform you what is ecological agriculture and the importance of ecological agriculture and the role of the youth in pagsulong ng ating agrikultura. So, yun po.
Mabuhay sa magandang salamat sa Leon Flores. Ito ako po ay siya ko ng ako. Kung ba ito po nasusulong ng isip ng democracy para sa pagkakita. Advocate ng ating political dynasty, Philippine Commission, and hopefully more young people to run for public office. I used to be the National Youth Commission Chairman for 2011.
Mayong hapon sa inyo kalan. I'm Paolo Martin Saberon and I'm the founder of Cebuano Youth Ambassadors. And I was a commissioner of Social Development Commission and used to head the Provincial Youth Commission of Cebu. And I'm also delegate of Greenpeace. I'm advocating our organization is a premier youth organization in Cebu that advocates for youth participation in the government. And nilalagay namin yun siya sa mga municipalities, mga cities, yung pagkikilahok ng mga kabataan sa pamahalaan.
Good afternoon, everyone. Ako si John Lloyd. I come here as a celebrity. Ako po si Vic. So ito lang yung kwento sa premier na. Wala ka naman. Representative po ako ng mga tambay. Saka mga walang magawa. But seriously, ako si Vic, we're a part of the group called Filipinas natin.
Pilipinas natin yung sa student leadership and volunteerism campaign for nation building. So, yun po.
So before we move forward with sa social conversation natin ngayon, I would like to acknowledge the presence ng kasama kong moderator, none other than the program head of Youth Vote Philippines, Mr. Chard Mozon. Chard, please.
Hi. Yes, so, well, just to say good you know, good afternoon everyone. Apologies kung galing sa premiere night si Break kagabi. After ng shooting, very proud siguro. So lang. But anyway, so for this afternoon, this is really a great time for everyone, each and every one of us, because just to inform you guys, I've been with Comrade Annual earlier, and I think today is really a great day for every one of us because a number of organizations are doing their best to really call for transparency, for empowerment, especially for the 2016 elections. And basically, our topic for this afternoon is more or less on asking what are the youth agenda and what would be the agenda that should be part of the 2016 platform of governance of the candidates running from president down to barangay level. And with that, here, we'll talk about the Filipino youth and the use of 2016 in India.
So I think something na we commonly saw doon sa pre-registration natin, I think na nakita niyo yung part na we asked the one who registered kung ano yung issue na sa tingin dapat natin pag-usapan. And a big majority wrote this issue of education. Because first, let's have a show of hands, short, no? Yung naniniwala pa sila na itong issue na ito dapat natin pag-usapan. At dapat pag-usapan ng mga kandidato sa ngayong election na ito.
Please do raise your hands. So let's count. 1, 2, 3. But I think, yeah, but you can see the majority of the youth here in SMX are really aware that education is part of the issues that should be considered for 2016 elections. So let's ask for our panelists. In terms of your engagement with the youth, especially the target Sir Leon, yun sa tingin mo, bakit kailangan i-include ang education as part of the youth agenda?
Well, mahalaga ang edukasyon. I think all of us understand that education really can provide a lot of solution to our problem. You know, when you have educated young people who are preparing for jobs in the future, then can you provide them with the right frame of mind with regards to climate change, with regards to other issues, with regard to removing discrimination in all aspects, with regard to removing bigotry or hatred towards different religions. I think education is the key. Walang kabaril. So, mahalaga talaga sa edukasyon.
Thank you, Leon.
Pero, Chairman, we kept on talking about the importance of education. Siguro yung question na gusto kong iba dito is, coming from the quote that I heard in the TV series Newsroom, sabi nung lead anchor doon na the first step of solving a problem is recognizing there is one. Ano ba yung problema ng sistema natin, ng edukasyon?
Yung do you want to write?
Siguro sa Pilipinas, there is no law that guarantees the rights and the welfare of the student. And I think education nowadays are becoming more commercialized. No, na even yung nasa mga remote areas, they would really find it difficult to augment the figure about the degree for them to be able to send their kids to school. So, marami sa kanila yung naging tambay, nalulod sa bisyo, ang iba ay nabuntis na maaga. It's because they don't have this opportunity to enroll. Yun siya.
So, let's dig onto that. Who would like to add to that?
If I may add that, let's be clear about it. When it comes to budget for education, there's fixed rights and rules because for basic education level and secondary, we've never seen tumas talaga yung budget in this administration. And I'm not saying that because I'm a point here in the government, but just look at the numbers. The problem with challenges with higher education, the budget is not as supported as it was. Medyo meron talagang plateau, but let's give credit for credit history. Basic and elementary secondary education, talagang malabalik ang support. In fact, talagang nakagapan yung shortages ng classroom and textbooks and teachers at a certain point. You see at a certain point because it's a moving target. The moment meron kang nagapon na, meron namang mga bagong freshman class o elementary graduates na pupunta sa high school. So talagang mahirap siyang i-catch up. Pero there have been so many slides and there have been public efforts to make sure to build more classrooms. And because of corruption, na-address yung issue of corruption and transparency within the Department of Education. para meron talagang classroom sa nag-build. Kasi mas mura talaga ang pag-build ng classroom dahil naging classroom yung process. Yeah. Marketing, what would like to add? Or say something about it?
Yes. For me naman, education, di ba, it's supposed to be a right rather than a privilege, but at the present state, it's the other way around. It's becoming a privilege rather than a right. Because not all the young people or kids have this chance to go to school because of violent inspiration, family, poverty. Education is a very big issue to consider kasi lahat ng factor pumapasok, lahat talaga ng issue pumapasok. It's a very big umbrella of issue yung education na lahat sakop niya. So for me, it's becoming more na talaga of a privilege. Kaya nga marami na yung mga bata ngayon na hindi na aware sa kung ano yung mga nangyayari sa lipunan kasi hindi na sila knowledgeable or hindi nila alam kung paano tumukoy ng issues. Like for example, kahit ngayon, tatanungin ko kayo, hindi ko na. Gusto mong salita? Mamaya na. So, kung tatanungin ko kayo, alam niyo ba kung paano in the ecological agriculture side naman tayo? So, alam niyo ba kung paano ng process ng mga food na kinakain natin? Or do you know the basics of agriculture? Or do you know how to till the land? Or do you know the plight of our farmers? Siguro lahat kayo dito, including me, na hindi talaga ganun ka-familiar sa mga issues na ganito because of lack of education, the proper training, the proper education na dapat binibigay sa atin. So, for me, kung sino lang yung may pera, kung sino lang yung may lakas sa gobyerno or sa kahit sino man, na sila lang yung nabibigyan ng pribilehiyo na makapag-aral sa isang paaralan na maganda. So, para for me, that's it.
Thank you, Mark. Siguro I would like to follow later yung sinabi ni Paolo kanina with regard to sa out of school youth. And basically, ito yung isa sa mga sector that when we connect with education, ito yung mga sector na vulnerable. Okay, in terms of your engagement, syempre kayo diba as grassroots organization and with volunteer organization, what do you think are the issues of the out of school youth, especially on your end, na maraming mga kabataan yung nag-volunteer because they think, they believe that the country can do more. So sa inyo, what are the issues of the youth na in-engage nyo with regard to education?
Para ko sa sensitive ng out of school youth eh. Sure ba? Natama eh. Pero siguro one key and then just to add with yung concern natin with tertiary education, yung higher education, is that number one, there's a challenge really on the yung curriculum or yung how we teach sa higher education. So for example, ang gandang reflection nung nangyari sa General Luna. Si General Luna naman mula primary school, inaaral mo na. Bakit biglang nagkaroon ng fascination about him nung nagkaroon ng movie? Ibig sabihin, may underappreciated na mga basic facts sana, basic education, pero parang bakit nakarating sa college parang bago mo naiintindihan na ganun pala yun. And also, isang factor dito, yung edukasyon natin, lalo na sa higher education, tinuturuan tayo maging magaling sa kung anong kurso natin. And yet, tinuturuan lang tayo, pero hindi tayo tinuturuan kung paano maging isang successful na negosyante o na persona nung kurso na kinuha mo. Ibig sabihin, walang business side. Tinuturuan ka maging architect, pero hanggang architecture lang, walang business side of doing architecture. Really, yung paano ba magkaroon ng isang architect, paano ba mag-design ng malalaking whatever. Pero yun isa yun sa mga nakikita kong malaking challenge. And kaugnay nun, based sa ground, sa mga nakakasalamuhan natin ng mga kabataan, mga volunteers, it has something to do with lack of interest with education. Because I think more and more, parang makagraduate lang. Ganun yung tingin ko ay, para lang sige, mag-exam mag-aaral ako, tapos para makagraduate. Tapos yun tatanga tayo pareho, parang ang weird na kasi ang daming board, ang daming kailangan exam after the graduation. Ano pa? 4 years ko nag-aaral, kailangan yung i-review. Ay, ako So, yun, malaking bagay. Kaya marami ko sigurong towards
really taking higher education seriously because I think there's something wrong or there's a lot of improvement that needs to be done sa pag-develop ng curriculum natin.
Pero pag nag-live stream kayo, talagang hindi nyo.
First time ko nag-live stream. Is having that sense na coming from your leader. Let's keep getting to the department. Kasi malaki naman yung budget. Nag-improve naman talaga. But then again, nag-reveal natin sa your perspective, something that we cannot deny is ensuring accessibility ng education na to. And another deeper problem is okay, may access ka sa education, pero quality ba siya? Na-attain ba niya yung edukasyon na dapat na deserve mo bilang isang tao? Kasi it's a basic human right. So, Archbishop, after reviewing sa inyo, ano yung sa tingin dapat yung maging approach ng tumatakbong kandidato sa ganitong klaseng sitwasyon? Ako, kumaga doon yung problema, it's not just one side.
May first insight, dudugtungan ko yung sinabi ni Sir. Kasi masyado tayong nagiging premature. Ang gobyerno, push ng push, pero wala siyang sustainable balancing doon sa pag-push niya ng isang project, like 8 to 12. Ang sabi ng Aquino government, actually, when they ask us, isa ako dun sa pumabor sa K-12. Because the concept itself, isa makaganda. Sabi ko, upgraded na. And my 6-year-old daughter, grade 1 siya ngayon, and she's studying multiplication table. Na kung babalikan ko yung panahon ko na nag-aral ako ng multiplication table, grade 3 yan. Grade 3, grade 4. Ngayon, nagtatanong na siya sa akin, Daddy, what is this? Daddy, how will I do this? Natutuwa ako doon. At yung, balikan ko din yung aking elementary days, yung all things bright and beautiful. Sino ba nakakatanda sa inyo? All things bright and beautiful, di ba? Ako hindi mo siya kabisado, pero yung anak ko, natatandaan ko for grade 4 ako na pinakabisado sa amin yun for 2 days. At awan ng Diyos sila ako nakapasa sa recitation. Pero yung anak ko, grade 1, pinapractice na nila yun. So maganda. But unfortunately, yung susunod na antas, yung susunod na kwartong papasukan ng isang estudyante, bakante ba? Like, as in Marikina, naging issue yung libro. Bakit? Merong 4 na libro ang anak ko, pero yung isa wala nagagamit. Bakit? Yung diniliver na libro, panahon pa ni Mahoma, iba na yung sistema. Kasi hindi natin nasasalo eh. We are planning, the government is planning for a good thing, but unfortunately, yung sustainable thing behind this, hindi nila nasusustainahan. Kasi nga, ang layo-layo ng tingin. Well, for me, kung mayroong bagong presidente yung upo, sana bumalik siya dun sa basic. Yung tipong grade 6 pa lang, makakapagpuro na. Diba? Yung tipong iba yung approach. Balikan natin, baka sinasabi ng marami sa atin, masyado kang primitive, Bishop. No! Tingnan natin yung aspect noon at ngayon. Maganda yung ngayon, kaso hindi tayo sustainable. Budget? Andiyan yung budget eh. Mag-deliver ka ng isang libro ang halaga sa market, 40 pesos. Pero pagdating sa government, 300 pesos. Bumili ka ng pisong coupon ban sa tindahan, sa gobyerno, 5 piso siya. Merong problema sa loob. So that the education, hindi natin masustinahan kasi magbigay ka ng 300 million. For example, sa education. Ilan yung estudyante na dagdag bago mo ginawa yung 300 million budget na hindi na siya masustain. Kasi hindi na anticipated. Okay, 8-12, maganda. Ngayon, meron akong mga estudyante kasama, sabi nila, kasi by December 4, magbibigay ako ng 5 scholarship. Nakagamit ba namin siya? After 4th year, mag-11
adjust mo ba yung mic na to?
Yung ibibigay ko college. Sabi ko, titignan natin. Kung pwede natin i-convert ito into 11 and 12, okay na ito. That the government doesn't have any plan, concrete plan for that. Bakit? Kasi ngayon pa lang sila nag-training. Bukas na yung grade 11 and 12, ngayon pa lang sila nag-training. hindi pa nila nabibigyan ng sustainable at detail yung kanilang haharapin bukas. So yun po ang problema natin. Yun ang madalas kung napapansin. Napakaganda ng K-12. Isa pa, K-12. Sana ma-address ito. Ang DSWD is acquiring the daycare centers. And the daycare centers is more efficient than the kinder being given to the curriculum right now. Bakit? Ang daycare may subject, ang kinder wala. So, ako isipin ko, ipa-daycare ko muna yung anak ko bago mag-kinder. Parang hindi tama. So, sana ako, yung kinder, ipinato natin doon sa daycare center. In the daycare center, hindi ito papasok dun sa basic school. Kasi ang operator ng daycare center, sila ang nagre-rent. Hindi ito dinagastosan ng gobyerno. Inaalalayan lang. So yun tayo, napapasok tayo ng congestion sa mga customers.
Sige. But ako kasi nakapanood talaga yung edukasyon sa bigger macro context. No? Kasi mahalaga talaga magplano. Isa yun, isa example, if you're from Mindanao, ang region na to, ano talaga yung mga industriya sa support ng gobyerno? Is it tourism? Then the schools and education should follow na ito yung susuportahan ng mga edukasyon. There's a stronger linkage. It's happening na naman, pero kulang pa rin talaga. Na kailangan may strong linkage between industry, education, and of course the surrounding community. Kasi dapat supportahan kung ano yung plano na kinusulta. Ang Principal dapat yung pagplano kung ano yung plano sa isang region na susuportahan, ano yung mga skills na ipoprovide ng edukasyon ito yung mga graduates natin. Kaya mahalaga din yung K-12 kasi nakikita natin na hindi naman talaga lahat. Kailangan baguhin na yung perception na dapat lahat ng college graduate. Kasi sa ibang bansa naman, sa halos kami ng bansa, high school pa lang na-graduate, job ready na. Kasi ibig sabihin, pwede na magtrabaho. Ang problema nga lang, kailangan natin expose to mga kumpanya na naghahanap ng experience agad, kaya lang fresh graduate, di ba? But mahalaga din for the next administration, itong mga framework for internship and apprenticeship. Para mayroong transition between education at panatrabaho. Kasi doon nila makukuha between internship. Kasi mayroong programang NYC na government internship program. Kailangan yung palawakin at mas supportan pa talaga. Tapos sa private sector naman, kailangan talaga ng apprenticeship program na makabuluhan. Hindi yung apprentice or intern ka, nagtitita ng kape, bumibili ng dyaryo. Walang skills masyadong natutunan doon. Kasi pwede natin gawin yun kahit dumaan sa internship. So that's what I think industry and education sector should really work hand in hand in the framework of the bigger macro planning that each regional development council should do.
Okay, thank you. So before we ask for Victor, I think one good thing that we can think about in that statement is that the K-12 somehow envisions itself to be a platform whereas the Filipino youth, especially the young ones, the children, can be able to have a great employment opportunities aside from the experience, aside from the expertise. It's more or less preparing them to be one of the best, diba? In their own perspective. Tama ba? Diba? But sige, sabihin natin na K-12, education platform, isang mga issues na kailangan pag-usapan. But this is going to be Youth Congress. So what do you think it is for the young Filipinos to consider? But kailangan ba talaga ng K-12? On your own perspective, sabihin na ba the K-12 is the answer for one of the problems of the country, especially for education?
Oo. Hindi, oo. Pero yun nga, there has to be, syempre bago. Yun lang i-qualify din natin ito mga kapatid. Bago we cannot expect a program na working na tapos we'll wait on the sideline and wait for government to pay. Diba? Lahat po dapat engage tayo. And I think more than ever, tayo yung a generation that is highly engaged. That's why yung perfect sana opportunity of K-12 na mag-participate tayo instead of waiting on the sideline and complaining. Remember, gusto ko lang just to add, yung the use of the power of social media now, it reflects also with, kasi it's information. Dati, or at least sa panahon din na linear ang edukasyon. Ang may alam, teacher, ang natututo, estudyante. Ngayon, because of social media, bago ka pa nakarating sa classroom, may perception na alam mo na. Alam mo na, nabasa mo na. Di ba? There's this talk I gave sa high school. Ano yun? Parang, ano ngayon, yung grade 7. So, technically, ano year pa sila dapat? First year high school. So, that time, ito bumigay na ba sa mature audience mo? That time, I challenge or I thought, what I thought of is to challenge kung paano mag-isip ng mga kabataan niya, mga high school students. Sabi ko, alam niyo, huwag na tayo magbulahan na nagtuturo ako ng inspiration sa inyo, tapos I try to inspire and move you. Sabi ko, sino dito yung nakapanood? That time, yung latest scandal, video, sex scandal, na sino dito nakapanood? Surprisingly, siguro sa ganitong karaming audience, more than half yung nagtaas ng kamay. Sabi ko, I was supposed to talk about reproductive o yung being protecting of yourself o yung ganito. Pero exposed kayo, alam nyo na eh. More than, bago pa ako dumating, may idea na itong mga ito. So, nasa kamay natin mga kapatid yung opportunity. How do we challenge also education per se? How do we transcend into being linear? Teacher ang may alam, teacher, estudyante kayo yung nakalahat ng informasyon. Ngayon, di ba, yung bata ngayon, kahapon, kasama ko yung pamangkin ko. 2 years old, sanay lang mag-iPad. Alam pindutin yung what's red, what's blue, what's yellow. Sabi ko, hanap, no? So,
habang naiinit tayo sa issue ng K-12, another thing that the K-12 is trying to solve is the idea na yung edukasyon o yung sistema ng edukasyon ng Pilipinas na pag-iiwanan. So ngayon, sa bagong sistema na ito, mararating kaya natin ito. Itong ulitan ko.
Yes, the good thing. Yeah, yes, that's right. No? Kasi right after the education, the next thing that you're talking about is more focused on the integration. Siguro on your end, on your perspective, and of course on your engagement meeting, do you think from K to 12 leaning towards integration, ano kaya yung effect as we can we consider it basically as part of the agenda for the policies? Yes,
Yes, it should be a part of the youth agenda for 2016. Now, I'm looking into two parts of two divisions of this matter. Kapag hindi na-refill ng government yung kakulangan, by the next 2 years, babagsak tayo. Pero kapag nakita natin at maging kayong mga, hindi na po, kayong mga estudyante ay naging, sabi ng linear, naging mas, yung dedicated. Ang lalim nun ha, pakihukay ng konti. Naging dedicated sa pag-aaral, hindi puro LOL, hindi puro DOTA lang. Diba? Pag naging mas dedicated tayo sa pag-aaral natin, baka nga hindi na nga natin kailangan ng K-12. Kasi may ano tayo may technological growth na tayo Sabi nga ni Sir, magtanong ka ng scandal, kayo ng scandal, baka 99% alam ninyo. I-twist natin ng konti. Ibalik natin ito sa tamang konsepto ng edukasyon. Education is a basic thing for you to grow. Hindi para mag-grow ng family. Kasi masyadong mainit ang internet ngayon. Naglalagab sa init. So, lagi kong sinasabi pagka may mga batikusan sa internet, hindi ito lang ay trabaho ng nakaupo. Meron tayong tungkulin na madalas yun take for granted natin. Kasi andyan ang gobyerno tutulungan naman kami ng gobyerno May scholarship naman si Mayor kahit di ako matalino, makakapag-aral ako. Pero hindi yun. Dapat go beyond the comfort zone of a student. Huwag tayo parang nakakulong lang tayo sa isang kapirasong 4 na sulod ng kwarto. Na kung kapag nagkamali-mali pa ay malulusot pa sa fault line. Like what happened to parang
sorry, what do you mean by integration?
For example,
we're on the
yeah. So, ito terms of integration, kasi isabihin natin ang pinaka-aim as of the moment is more earnest with regard to the ASEAN integration quote unquote, or even the economic integration concept. And sort of bridging it from education to what we call preparation for the integration. So, tingnan what do you think would be a great information?
It will correct one perception no, that even if you modernize our education, pero kung kulang pa rin ang years of education natin at walang K-12, I've been, nung manggala ko sa Brunei, ang architect natin ay in-hire lang as draftsman, draftswoman, dahil kulang ang years of education. Kasi kailangan natin mag-catch up talaga para pantay-pantay, globally competitive tayo sa the rest of the world. Kasi tayo na lang yung talagang 10 years na yung basic education. So, mahalaga talaga pa rin. In light of the integration, ASEAN integration, paano tayo magkakakumpit kung kulang doon pa lang, kulang na tayo ng taon. And I still agree that that's not to say that hindi dapat quality yung number of years na yun. Kasi wala nang dichotomy. So I'm saying lang is that in light of ASEAN integration, we will all be competing with our counterparts in Myanmar and Brunei. And if you see Vietnam people already building their skills on this automation, we also have to compete where we're Vietnam. Kaya mahalaga pa rin macro, but at the same time, tayo, ang goal natin as youth, tingnan natin, ito yung plano ng gobyerno. Gusto pala sa ating lugar na to, mag-concentrate on agriculture. Then dapat, mag-build tayo ng skills in agriculture. Hindi yung, nursing yung magiging uso, IT yung magiging uso sa ibang bansa. We have to look inwards because we're already growing as a country. And we are starting to generate jobs. Of course, kulang pa rin, pero at least we are already a growing economy. High time for us to step up and really build our employable skills, which education can provide as we go towards integration.
Yes, that's right. As an information, actually, as part of the ASEAN blueprint, we are expected that the Philippines, according to the studies, is considered to be the human capital of the whole ASEAN region. Meaning, like for example, for those working in, or for those people who are working in the medical field, they are the first ones to be deployed all throughout the ASEAN region. So, on your own perspective, what do you think would be the problem if in case once the full blast, especially December of this year, will start the ASEAN integration thinking. And of course, for the next years to come, what do you think would be the big problem that the Philippines will be encountering once the ASEAN integration will happen? Mark?
In addition to kay sinabi sir, I talked with an educator friend, a professor in college. He said na parang hindi siya ready na magpa-graduate ng college, fourth-year college students kasi parang ang bata pa to compete, considering na meron tayong ASEAN integration, so we will be competing to different ASEAN members na yung mga professionals nila is ibang level. So para sa kanya, he's afraid na idalaban natin itong mga bagong generation to compete with this intellectual people. Parang sa kanya, masyadong bata pa. So, doon mabasa ng K-12 na parang additional information, additional skills pa sa kanila to harness their yung skills na meron sila. And also in agriculture, siguro naman lahat tayo, alam natin na Philippines is an agricultural country. A vast land na puro agriculture. Hindi na halos lahat doon into agriculture. So why not also integrate in ibang integration naman to in curricula sa mga schools to provide basic education in terms of in terms of yung mga basic knowledge lang natin sa agriculture. Para naman maisip ng mga bata na hindi lang sa nursing profession, sa architecture, doctors na meron din opportunities sa agriculture. So why not the next president or the mayor or congressman or whoever na to put this in their agenda na to also consider agriculture for the young people to venture kasi meron talagang laking tulong ang agrikultura sa atin. More so na meron pa tayong sa integration, hindi tayo makakalaban sa kanila in terms of technology kasi admittedly, kung naman tayo medyo, I'm not saying na low tayo, pero considering na mas advanced yung technologies nila compared to us, why not pasok tayo doon sa kung saan mas known yung Filipino. We are known to be productive in terms of agricultural products. before we export products rather than importing. Pero ngayon na, iba na. We import rather than, kasi nakukulangan na tayo. So why not, parang ipasok dito. Parang lang naman, hindi tayo pantay sa technologies, pero dito tayo pumasok kung saan mas hindi natin, meron tayong opportunity. Yes.
Having said that, so I think the next question would be more on what issue we're in.
So now we have Father Tucci. Let's move on to our next. Ito youth engagement naman. Now we tackled about a very important issue and system, which is innovation. Natrinay natin siyang tingnan from the perspective na makakatulong ba ito dun sa mga nalalapit na integration. Kasi importante siya sa bansa. Especially the diplomacy is one big factor that will affect the presidency or the role of the president. Pero now naman, balik tayo dun sa grassroots, balik tayo sa atin. Youth engagement. Ngayon mga importante ito. Ngayon ipaglaban ng isang tumatakbo presidente.
For us, it's really very important, to consider the young people not just as passive beneficiaries to all government programs and projects. I think this is the best time for the government to really look into the young people as partners for development. They should look at us as leaders and we can also help the government, especially on things that can really help elevate the poverty status of the young people. So let's say, for example, there is this project, di ba, yung bottom-up budgeting. This bottom-up budgeting ng government, this is really a great opportunity for young people to be involved. But based on my experience, in the 7 municipalities and cities in the Cebuano Cebu, only few young people are engaged. And this is already a great platform for them to advance all yung mga projects and programs na gusto nila i-implement using the national government funds. Yun. Then other than that, I could always compare students from, like a graduate from UP and a graduate from University of Cebu. UP students are really more engaged with political issues, social issues, but the University of Cebu students, parang wala lang, di ba? So for us, hindi, what I mean is, what I mean,
Sorry, we're both
what I'm trying to say is, yung sa school namin, parang ako lang kasi yung parang maingay sa school namin. The majority of my schoolmates, they are more into their studies, studies. Tapos parang mas hindi sila involved kapag usapin yung mga political issues, gano'n. If I'm going to compare it to a student from UP, in UP Cebu, they are more involved. So it's parang na-question ko kung how these students are being taught yung sa mga students sa private school, sa amin, at yung sa students ng university.
Ako naman, when it comes to engagement, I rather look at evidence muna. Maybe look at it whether proven talaga, whether you see students are either more or less engaged versus another. Putting that aside, I would like to say that if given an opportunity, I think young people really step up. And we kita mo sa Pilipinas natin, kita natin sa mga programa, nag-step up from talaga sila. And the opportunities are there, and we are able to package the engagement well. On another hand, I'd like to say about youth engagement, magandang sabi ni Paula about looking at young people as leaders also, because kasama sa youth engagement talaga is yung framework and institutionalization of the way by which we can engage. BUP is part of them, the SK is part of them, and I hope all of you will be active once the SK reform bill or law turns into law and there will be an election. Really engaged, because I sat in many of the hearings in Congress to make sure that the banking version and the Senator JP's version is married. Para magkaroon talaga ng local youth development council at the municipal, city, and provincial level. Meron naman yung prior institution na siya, dapat lahat meron ng LYDC. So yan yung youth engagement para meron talagang democratic space and youth organizations to join, hindi lamang siya limited lamang sa mga SK. Dahil alam na natin maraming problem ng SK. Kasi kailangan talaga siya i-reforma. So that's another window that you guys, after 2016, can really engage in to make sure na you hold your SK leaders accountable, your LYDs accountable also. And not only be a contributor to them, but you really try to help engage them in their projects, help out, be part of, render your voice in policy making. Hindi lang yung nagiging politicized na rin masyado. We have to work closely with each other, especially at the local level, kasi with the new localities. You all know each other.
Maganda po yung aspect ng youth engagement. Pero there is two kind of youth engagement right now. Sabi ni Sir Paulo, sa Cebu, tahimik ang University of Cebu, maingay ang IUP. Ako po nakikita ko dun sa bagay na yun. Sometimes, ako naging maingay din ako when I was in late days na, RH low days na. Nung alam kong kailangan ko nang lumabas, nung alam kong kailangan ko umakyat sa mga entablado, bilang kleriko, ginawa ko na. Kasi marami po sa mga youth engagements ngayon, lalo na yung mga issues, minsan natatawag na lang ang kabataan naibabala. You know what? Sige, may rally tayo sa ganyan. Kayo mauna. Nasa ng mga leaders, sila nasa likod. Sila nandun sa hotel, sinasabi nila nakikipag-negotiate sila. Why don't we do it na yung nakikipag-engagement dun sa labas ay makiupo din, like this. Kasi mas na-address natin yung problema, yung issues kapag nakaupo tayo. Hindi yung nakikipagbalihan tayo sa mga pulis, nakikipag-hintayan, nakikipag-banggaan tayo dun sa mga water cannons. Parang hindi ko makita yung talagang essence para ma-address yung real issues ng kabataan. No? Maganda yung nagsasalita, maganda yung social media attacks, pero dapat matuto tayo, sabi nga, think before you click. So, ako lagi ako ganyan. And I don't use group pages. My own Facebook account, pag meron akong gustong sasabihin ko. Pag may nagbabak sa akin, bakit? Facebook ko yan that's my right. Kung gumamit ako ng ibang account, kung nag-fictitious ako, yun ang masama. Pero I use my own. Ako sa Marikina, wala na yung isang kasama ko yun. Dalawa kami, lagi kami nababambak dyan. Gumagawa ng mga fake accounts, kami ginagamit. Tapos kami na binibira. Diba? Pero kami, ako lang gusto sabi, marunong matuto tayo kabataan magsalita. Kasi tayo yung bukas. Tayo yung makikinabang ng kung ano yung ginagawa ngayon. Kung mapahihirapan tayo sa future, kayo pa lang ginagawa naman. And bibigyan speaking, totoo yan. We are paying for those sins na hindi natin ginawa. And just like what the taxation system and the utang system of the government, baka yung utang ng lola sa puho at alapakan natin, nagbabayad pa rin tayo. At nagbabayad pa rin tayo.
That's our very last point of engagement for yes, siguro just to follow it through. No? Sige mo gaano mahalaga ang youth engagement to be part of the youth agenda?
Well, siguro yung 42 million ng tweet ng Altab ay hindi yun, hindi yun biro. Meaning, highly engaged ang kabataan. Kung ibabangga mo sa 22 million, para safe to assume na 2 tweets per person. Tapos tayong selfie capital of the world. Alam niyo ba tayo pinakamaraming na-post na videos at pictures sa Facebook or any social media platform online? Second, tayo pa rin ang SNS capital of the world. So, what does that has to say about the Philippine youth? We are highly engaged. The thing is, I think, hindi tayo engaged nagiging engaged tayo pag nakikita natin. Number one, dapat authentic yung issue. Kaya, engaged tayo sa Altab. Kasi, feeling natin, napaka-authentic ng Altab. Pero, because of masyadong formal yung usapin ng West Philippine Sea, hindi tayo ganun ka-engage sa West Philippine Sea dahil parang masyado siyang pinackage na formal. So, government, or at least the next set of leaders should somehow consider, ito yung consensus ng panel na to, no, na it has to create its messaging in such a way na engaging din to the youth. Kasi hindi biro-biro yung 42 million youths. Hindi biro-biro na everybody's, parang napansin niyo ba ngayon pati NBA kailangan may Filipino, paano na lang sumikat, kailangan may taste of si BuzzFeed or whoever, kailangan dinadaanan yung Filipino diaspora. Dahil alam nila tayo, we can trend, we can do something na magiging viral talaga. And that's a power. But it has something to do with paano yan i-translate into how we work. I think, wag natin just to yung comparison. Yung comparison on community or grassroots versus yung mga highly political or highly active yung mga social, mga student leaders. Iba yung kailangan kasi pakinggan, iba yung dynamic sa community. Case in point, kami naniniwala at ako personal observation ko, pumupunta ako sa mga state colleges and universities. Napansin nyo, sa mga usapin ganito yung mga lalaki nandun. Yung mga lalaki nandun sa, yung ready na umalis. Di ba yung mga pag nagpapakurong kayo, yung hinihintay talaga tumayo ang lahat for the closing prayer, tapos laga na. Ganun yung mga lalaki. But nobody in that room dare to listen to why is that, ano yung psychology of it. And nung nakinig kami, ito pala yung bottom line ng mga kalalakihan sa probinsya. Because they don't want to engage in such conversation because for them, being a man na responsible is toiling the soil. Is attending to the sakahan nila, is attending to whatever yung priority ng pamilya nila. And that's being a man for them. That's being contributors of the society. Hindi man sila vocal about how they should express their political rights or whatever, or opinions, but yung kinakain niyo po, sila yung nagtatrabaho doon at doon sila excited. Doon sila excited. And so, I think for most of you are student leaders here, baka ganun natin tignan, baka tayo yung magaling, tayo yung nasa stage lagi, tayo yung MC, or tayo nagpo-conceptualize ng mga programa, at ini-eliminate natin itong mga ayaw mag-participate. Because, I think, ang suggestion ko, talking about with engagement, you have to listen. Saan ba sila nagagaling? Ano ba yung opinion nila? And ano ba yung sexy para sa kanila? Ano ba yung makakapagpa-engage sa kanila? Baka physical activity, talking activity. Di ba?
Let's talk about the environment. I think Mark is very interesting. Yeah. So, siguro sa iba sa inyo, nag-iiba ng accent ko. Siguro sa iba sa atin dito, parang pasok kayo or ano yung ibig sabihin ng ayaw ng pastupan na nasa t-shirt namin. No? So, sa inyo, tingin nyo siguro parang demeaning word siya. Parang napaka-strong word to demean someone yung hampas lupa. Sabihan ka hampas lupa, siguro masaktan ka. Pero din sa hampas lupa, mabuti na nga lang rin na this is a youth forum kasi plano rin namin i-change yung mindset ng mga kabataan ngayon in terms sa defining this word hampas lupa. When we say hampas lupa, sa mga teleserye na kita natin, is parang yung mahirap, working poor, yung mga makalkan, mga ganyan hampas lupa. But when we literally translate the word hampas lupa, hampas means strike, and lupa means soil or land. So you strike the land or you till the land. So parang yan yung ginagawa ng farmers natin. So in this, gusto namin i-change yung idea nyo na hampas lupa is not a demeaning word. Hampas lupa should be elevated into a word na so that you can be proud of to be called as such. Na I am hampas lupa. So in this this is an election campaign. Sana nandito yung mga presidentials para presidential aspirants, namin narinig nila yung boses ng mga kabataan, katulad ko, katulad natin lahat, coming from different regions, different islands here in the Philippines, na gusto namin parating yung regarding ecological agriculture and kung saan sila makakatulong, yun nga, sayang wala sila dito. Pero, yung pananaw namin is ecological agriculture for us is diverting on the current state na yung conventional agriculture. We go into parang diversified agriculture. Hindi lang yung single cropping na way of farming. Kundi integrating yung mga ibang ways on how to farm. Na maintain natin yung ecological balance and biodiversity, and in effect, we help the environment, or we help in protecting and conserving the environment. Kasi yung conventional farming, we use pesticides, we use fertilizers na in the long run, nakakasira ng lupa, and another effect is nakaka-contaminate ng tubig, and yung sa hangin. So, in terms of ecological agriculture, ito ang parang ito yung mga issues na gusto namin i-address. When you say ecological agriculture, you don't use synthetic fertilizers. You use organic fertilizers. You use yung mga indigenous knowledge natin. Gusto natin balikan yung indigenous knowledge natin when it comes to agriculture. So we put emphasis on the rights. We also put emphasis on the rights of our farmers, our food, and our nutrition. So we want to give more opportunities sana to our farmers na hindi, and to enlighten the young people na meron talagang makukuha sa agrikultura, hindi lang sa kung ano yung profession ninyo na gustong nahakin. And lastly, we want to give more opportunities and a lot more funds to those people, to those hardworking hands who feed us. Kasi sila yung nagpapakain sa atin. So, that's it.
Sure, honestly, coming from the province of Tayab, I would say that agriculture there is a very big industry. Pero ang malaking problema ngayon is that meron mentality na gusto natin ng industrialization, gusto natin na coming from my perspective, on that part of the Philippines where farming is one major industry. Marami sa mga kaibigan ko na kahit sabihin natin yung nagpaaral sa kanila, yung lolo nila, doon yung galing yung industriya. Ang hinahanap nila is something more cultural, something more industrial. Yet, another big problem, pag pinasok nila yun, it's not available for them. So I think let's move on to the next issue, and one big issue is employment. Yeah. Let's have maybe two insights from the panel, and let's open the floor to our delegates. I may start. The data research, we have 11 million unemployed and underemployed now. In the next 6 years, the next president will have to produce 2.6 million jobs every year for the next 6 years para magapan or ma-address yung pagpasok ng mga fresh graduates, the currently unemployed and the currently underemployed. So, with yung datos, for me, I think it's really making sure that when we talk about employment, we really talk about employability. Ano talaga yung skills and life skills na nakukuha ng kabataan from the education that they get? Why are some of them still kulang in terms of when you interview them? And it's not really young people. I think there are some skills that they have to be provided. Not only with interviews, but making sure that they are really sort of made by experts in their field already. When you interview them, pero talaga in terms of the quality, meron talagang tingnan yung quality. And for some schools, kung hindi talaga kakayanin ng isang industriya mag-produce, examples, agricultural na tayo, bakit meron yung SUC doon na susupport pa rin na IT courses? At pag nag-graduate ng IT course, wala namang IT industry, ang isang provinsyang yun. So, I think mahalaga na talagang swak, pero talagang continuum yung from education to employment. And other than that, more important is really providing them with enough skills that will be addressed. So, kung yung kailangan na skills within the local economic area.
Sa akin naman, in terms of employment, kailangan natin linawin na, syempre, laging, what it comes to mind whenever we talk about employment, maging pumasok agad sa employment na literal, makapasok. Yung business o yung entrepreneurship, medyo hirap tayo, nasa side step, meaning, feeling ko, it has something to do with, at least tayo sa generation natin, tayo mga kabataan, we have to treat yung issue ng employment bilang paghahanda o yung life, yung career path in general. Yung kailangan mo siya tignan na hindi siya para lang pagka-graduate ko, anong tatrabahuin ko, saan ako pwede pumasok. Kasi ngayon, wherever you go, may mga hindi nakapagtapos na may income na. May mga may negosyo na or may mga racket na whatever, may employed na. Gagawin nyo ba? Ibig sabihin, tignan natin din itong henerasyon na to o yung what we have now is an opportunity to take a look at employment na instead ng trabaho ng gobyerno, lahat na i-employ tayo, why not education or information in general or this generation can take a bolder step into saying, kailangan may plano kami sa buhay. Kailangan empowered ako na kahit na college, sumarakit na ako. Pwede na akong rumakit online, pwede na akong kumuha ng ganitong tumulong sa bigger dito, or pwede akong, it has something to do with ano yung plano natin. And malaking bagay doon na huwag natin iasa lahat sa gobyerno.
Now, before we move on to our open forum, I would like to remind everyone, and as a mayor, please use hashtag Youth Agenda 2016 in our discussion. So, Charlie, please start.
Yes, and of course, this afternoon is really great because you can see that there are a lot or even a number of inspiration for sabihin natin as insights from our respective panel of reactors. But I believe that the audience would have, I think, the best or one of the best questions that we asked nila. So now, we're opening the floor for everyone who would like to ask. So kindly up each side, maybe, the microphone. Yes. And for the instruction, kindly state your name, and then of course, affiliation or whatever organizations you are in, and of course, the question you would love to ask.
Hello, good afternoon. So, ako si Dana from YMCA. Actually, hindi pa mas question. Gusto ko lang mag-walk through kasi open forum na lang. Gusto ko lang magbigay, magbahagi ng aking ideya tungkol sa mga napag-uusapan. Dahil sinabi natin na itong pagtitipon na ito ay Philippine Youth Congress. So, ito ay isang pagtitipon makabansa. Dahil ginagamit natin yung sinasabi natin Philippine Youth Congress. Pangalawa, youth, kabataan, boses ng mga kabataan na dapat narinig ng mga tatakbo sa pagkapangulo sa 2016 election. Pangatlo, Congress. Pag sinabi natin Congress, ay meron tayo dapat isang, I'm sure the organizers will do it, statement or ano yung mga napag-usapan kasi sinasabi natin Youth Agenda 2016. Gusto kong balikan yung mga binanggit natin kanina mga Youth Agenda na kanina na nag-flash sa screen. Una-una yung sistema ng edukasyon. Gusto ko mag-agree din doon sa sinasabi ni Sir Leon kanina. Mahalaga ang ng edukasyon at yung usapin halimbawa ng K-12, ito ay isang paraan ng gobyerno dahil yun yung nakikita ng ating government at ng educators na para makasabay tayo doon sa pambansang pandaigdig na kompetensya o karera. May tanong kasi kanina na na-raise yung convener natin, Rainer. Ano ba yung problema sa sistema ng edukasyon sa Pilipinas? Nabanggit na kanina nung ni Kuya na naka-black from grade 3, si Kuya Mark, na nagiging pribilehiyo ang edukasyon rather than karapatan. English na karapatan, nagiging siyang pribilehiyo. Gusto ko lang tayo na imbitahan ang mga kabataang nandito sa loob ng forum na ito. Tignan natin yung edukasyon, yung sistema ng edukasyon. Yung sinasabi natin curriculum, issue ng accessibility, at issue ng kung ma-access mo man, ito ba ay quality education. Una, sino ba ang dapat nakakatanggap, nakakatamasa ng edukasyon? According to the United Nations and Commission on Human Rights, meron tayong tinatawag na EFA, Education for All. So, lahat, at nasa konstitusyon din natin sa Pilipinas, alam natin to na dapat lahat ay nakakapag-aral. Hindi lamang yung mga nasa Metro Manila, lalo't higit kahit ang mga lumad sa Davao, kahit ang mga IP communities ay naaabot ng edukasyon. Pangalawa, ano ba yung edukasyon? And how do we define education? Kaya tama din alam ni Sir Leon kanina. Kung babalikan natin ng kasaysayan, ang edukasyon na institutionalized na dumating ang yung panahon ng Amerikano, nagkaroon ng public school systems. At kaya ko ito binabanggit ko kasi may kaugnayan dito sa kung paano tayo mag-isip bilang mga kabataan, paano tayo mag-isip bilang mga educators, at bilang mga namumuno sa gobyerno. Anong klaseng edukasyon ang nakuha mo sa eskwelahan? Nag-aral ka ng public school system or private school or Catholic school or whatever private institution. Ang gusto ko lang ipunto din dito sa sinasabi kong ito, paano tayo mag-isip? Ang tanong, para kanino ba ang edukasyon na nakukuha natin? Kailangan natin din pag-usapan yan mga kabataan. Para kanino ba ang education? Meron akong nilista dito na para sa akin, na nakikita ko, dapat isipin din natin yung edukasyon kung halimbawa yung pag-design ng tailored curriculum. Sa usapin ng kultura, wikang Filipino. Ilan sa atin dito ang umisip na mahalaga ang pag-aaral sa wikang Filipino? Hindi natin sinasabing itakwil ang wikang Ingles o iba pang banyakang wika. Pero kung isipin natin, isa sa pagkakaroon ng pambansang kamalayan, yung pag-aaral din sa wikang Filipino, lingua franca. At hindi lang ito yung Tagalog. Merong mga ilang salita na pumapasok from Cebu, from Bicol, from iba pang mga wika. So, una yan, kultura. Dahil nakaugnay ito sa paano tayo mag-isip, tama ka, Sir Vic, yung behavior, yung being man para sa lugar na pinagdahan nila. Para sa kanila, ang magiging lalaki ay ang pagpili ng land, ang pagsasaka, ganyan. Part din ng kultura. Pangalawa, kaunlaran. Para kanino ba yung kaunlaran? Para sa Pilipinas o para sa Japan, para sa Qatar, para sa ibang bansa, para magkaroon sila ng mga OFW workers? Para kanino yung pag-unlad na ito? Kasi maaaring sinasabi natin na mag-aaral ako maging engineer, pero nakatanaw ako pumunta ng Singapore. Mag-aaral ako maging doktor, pero nakatanaw ako pumunta ng Amerika. Para kanino yung kaunlaran? Kasi ang dami nating sinasabi na, oo, kailangan natin ng edukasyon. Tama yung education to employment. Pero walang industriya na sasalo doon sa mga nag-aral na to. Kaya inisip nila, pumunta na lang sa ibang bansa. Pangalawa, para saan? Para saan yung kaunlaran? Siyempre, kailangan natin isipin yung kalikasan. Kanina lang nagaling ako dito sa kabilang forum, kung Green Nation Forum, ng National Youth Commission din, saka ng Climate Change Commission. Kailangan isipin din natin yung pag-unlad ng kalikasan, yung hindi pang sarili lang. Tama, gusto mong susugan yung sinasabi kanina ni Mark, na meron talagang yaman sa kultura, ay sa agricultura rather. Agriculture is the future of this country. Pero napaka-kaunti sa ating mga mambabatas ang pinatutunan nito ng pansin. Bakit? Kasi lahat tayo, or majority ng ating mga mambabatas, I'm sorry kung wala kang gusto patamaan, pero nakikita ko to as a citizen. Lahat tayo nakatanaw sa Metro Manila. Lahat tayo nakatanaw sa Metropolis, Metropolitan Illusion. Yung pag maraming buildings maunlad, yung pag may magandang sasakyan maunlad. Yung nasa Metro Manila yung sentro ng kapangyarihan, nandito yung Malacanang, nandito yung media, nandito yung mga malls, nandito yung... Meron na rin sa ibang probinsya. Pero ang punto ko dito, bigyan natin ng isa sa mga kailangan ang tawag dito, i-hype ng mga kabataan, yung usapin ng agricultural sector. Ilang taon nang pinag-uusapan ang GAR, ang Genuine Agrarian Reform Bill. Ilang taon nang pinag-uusapan yung Hacienda Luisita issue na sinabi naman ng Supreme Court na ipamahagi na, pero hanggang ngayon hanggang papel na. Hindi naman ako nag-take ng isang side daw. Nakikita ko rin yung pagtanaw ng gobyerno, pero kailangan magsimula yung turmoil, yung Mauna tayo mga kabataan na nandito. Most of us na nandito ay nasa university na nakapag-aaral. Tayo ay mga privileged, quote-unquote, dahil tayo nag-aaral. Pero pag tinignan natin yung nung nakaraang buwan, mga elementary students na lumats, nagrarally sa tapat ng DepEd na hindi lang sa inyo yung edukasyon, bigyan nyo rin kami ng edukasyon. Kung makikita natin lahat yun, hindi ko alam kung lahat tayo dito na nalaman yun. Isipin natin yung, yung cry, yung boses din ng mga tao to, bakit sila dumadain? Ano ba yung pinaglalaban nila? Hindi masama na may nagrarally sa kalsada. Hindi naman masama na umuupo tayo sa lamesa para makipag-usap. May mga kanya-kanya tayong ideolohiyang pinaggagalingan. At nirerespeto ko din yung ideya ng iba. Ito ay para sa aking ideya lamang. Pero bilang isang mamamayang Pilipino, nakikita ko na malaki ang magagawa nung isang makabayang edukasyon, isang makakalikasan na edukasyon. At para ito sa kaunlaran ng bawat isa. Huling punto, yung youth engagement. Salamat dahil binigyan niyo kami ng pagkakataon na magsalita rin. Isa sa mga key, isa sa mga susi ng pag-i-involve sa mga kabataan, youth engagement, ay yung empowerment na sinasabi. Empowerment with responsibility, not empowerment with entitlement. Hindi para makilala ka sa SK. Kahit walang SK, kahit walang yung Philippine Youth Congress, ang social media para magsalita ang kabataan. Merong iba pang paraan para magsalita ang kabataan. At ang edukasyon, babalik ko dun sa punto ko, na yung edukasyon na to, institutionalized, isa lamang aspeto yan. Merong edukasyon sa labas ng classroom. Merong mga may mga alternative education na nangyayari na hindi natin nakikita dahil ang tanaw nga lang ay nasa Metro Manila, Metro-centric. So yun lang, gusto ko rin magpasalamat sa organizer ng Philippine Youth Congress at gusto kong tanungin ang bawat isa. Kasama na ako isang challenge nito sa darating na 2016 election na pag-aralan natin mabuti yung mga sinasabi nating agenda. Ipasa natin sa kanila, hindi sila pumunta ngayon, tayo pumunta sa kanila. Diba? Kaya naman natin gawin yun eh. So, yun lang. Maraming salamat.
With that statement, it's really high time that a number of Filipino youth today are more engaged in terms of addressing these and concerns and issues. I think now more than ever, as compared to the previous elections and other events. Today is really this election, this 2016 election, is not the election of the old people, I think, and I believe. It's not the election of the sabihin natin na medyo young at heart at that moment. I think the election of 2016 is more or less forwarding the youth issues in the youth agenda. So with that, we can ask without further questions.
First, just to give chances even to other people to come in. We want
Minutes, siguro.
Open na kulog sa ating tanan and sa inyo logos for Province Amar. And this is not a question, this is an addendum and insights. This is my opinion, and this is based on our advocacy of the research process. We're working in the grassroots level. And so, narinig ko ang tatlong agenda ngayon, education, youth engagement, and environment. So, ito ang propose education. Pwede natin kung ano ba ang problema kinakaharap ng education. And we cannot deny that existing fact. Because there are a lot of problems facing in the education. First is that ang dami natin solution na binibigay for the advancement, for the growth. Pero ang binabaliwala natin ang very basic things. How can we improve kung hindi natin muna susolusyonan ang basic things? So, pwede na lang nilabas ang ratio ng 1:1. Ang unang naisip ko is that there should be 1 book for 1 children, 1 book for 1 student. So, yun ang unang naisip kanina. Kasi nangyari dito sa atin, we can't easily give numbers. We can't easily give reports, good reports. Isa sa event na participant ako, I know may nag-report na wala na raw problema sa classrooms, okay na raw, okay na ang books. I was very disappointed kasi kung titingnan natin ang nasa grassroots level, kung titingnan natin ang mga area na hindi siya accessible, nasa bundok, nasa riverside, nasa mga probinsya, makikita ninyo na minsan meron isang classroom na dalawang grade level ang gumagamit. Meron isang pamilya na tatlong bata na ang ginagamit nila ay isang pencil. Hinahati-hati para meron gamitin mga kabataan. So, yun ay masyadong basic, pero masolusyon na naman natin yan. So, na tayo nagbibigay ng solusyon para mag-advance tayo, para mag-grow ang mga kabataan, para mag-grow ang education natin. Pero walang solusyon sa basic things. Isa ba dito sa basic things na to ay ang school buildings natin. Lahat ba ng kabataan o lahat ba ng paaralan ay sapat na ang school building? So, isa din yan na dapat itanong natin. Yes, masabi natin yes, dahil nakikita natin sa Greater Manila, nakikita natin sa mga malaking lungsod, hindi lamang ang focus natin. Pero wala tayong focus doon sa mga depressed areas. Isa ba dito ay ang mga educator, ang mga teachers natin. Kung bibigyan natin ng magandang sahod ang mga teachers natin, natural na bibigyan din nila ng di kwalidad na edukasyon ng kabataan. Nandito sa sistema natin yan. Ang nangyari is, mismo ang mga guro ay gumagastos ng sarili nilang pera galing sa bulsa nila, ang sahod nila. Para lamang sa mga bata, para bigyan ng kauntlalifikasyon ng kabataan. Meron isang ginagawa ng teacher doon, isang press barangay din sa Northern Samar, na ang teacher, pagdating ng June, bumibili siya ng mga papel, bumibili ng lapis, dahil alam niya na pagdating ng June, ang mga bata ay walang gagamitin pa rin. Ito ba dito sa problema natin ang mga materials na ginagamit sa edukasyon? So, paano nga ba matututo ang mga bata kung wala tayong materials na nasa loob ng classroom? Diba? Ang focus lang kasi natin palagi ay ito, dapat yung university na ito yung top ranking university. So, doon natin focusan yung public schools na nasa yung dalawa, wala focus. Yung focus lang natin, nandito lang tayo palagi sa universities. Tapos ito, pumasok ng Tito 12. Yes, maganda talagang Tito 12. Very agree ako kanina kay Sir Leon. Tungkol sinabi niya sa Tito 12 na talagang sobrang laki ng tulong ng Tito 12 dahil after ng Tito 12, talagang malaking advantage na yung bata kasi siya kung decide whether to land in a job or dumiretso ng college. Pero, ito lang, sa Tito 12, sa high school, ang focus natin ng Tito 12, ang pinoproblema palagi ay kung paano solution ng Tito 12 without thinking kung ano nga ba ang mangyari, ang transition mula sa elementary, mula sa bata na ang transition ng grade 6 at papasok sa grade 7. So, wala tayong solution din na ginagawa doon. So, yung simple formula lang dito na ibibigay ko is that we have to solve first the basic and simple things in education bago tayo pumunta sa advancement. Tapos, dahil ang education ay masyadong technical sa aspekto, sa field. Masyado siyang technical. Ang daming connotations sa education. Hindi lang na sabihin natin na kurso lamang, pagtatrabaho lamang, at ang daming transition na dapat natin ibigay dito. Tapos, sinabi na niya ang youth engagement. So, nandito tayo sa youth engagement. Bakit kunti lang ang mga bata na nagpaparticipate? Pag sinabi natin youth engagement, there should be high number of participation. Diba? So, tingnan natin, nasaan ngayon ang kabataan? Jose Rizal Wansan, ang kabataan ay pag-asa ng ating bayan. Pero minsan tanongin din natin, paano nga ba ang kabataan magiging pag-asa ng ating bayan? Kunti lang ang mga youth programs natin, youth involvement programs. Or sabihin natin, yes, marami. Marami sa mga big cities, marami sa Greater Manila. Pero paano ang nandun sa mga probinsya? Paano kami? So, dapat walang maiwan. No one should be left behind. Pero meron pa rin. Ang daming out of school youth. Bakit? Dahil nga sa kulang ng information. First and foremost, there should be synchronized programs. Galing sa taas, pababa, o mula sa baba, ang pataas. hindi na ito lang, na selective lang. Meron mga programa na sobrang selective lang siya, na hindi lang kasama ang ibang probinsya. Kung walang social media, hindi rin namin malaman yung ganung bagay. Pero mahirap din. Minsan may tinanong ako sa NGO din, can we bring your programs to our place or to our province? At sinabi niya, mahirap ang accessibility. So isa din yung sinabi niya. Tapos isa pa, sabi niya, wala kami contact doon. Kailangan ko ba magkaroon ng contact doon sa mga lugar na yun para dalhin ang programa na yun? Bakit masyadong selective tayo? Tapos, well, ito rin, kulang tayo mag-identify ng gaps, trends, issues sa bawat lugar. Diba? Minsan, nalalaman natin yung issue, pero hindi natin binibigyan ng halaga ang nasa grassroots level kung talagang nangyari doon, kung ilang percentage, sino nga ba affected. Sa youth engagement, kailangan dito na meron tamang awareness, meron tamang information sa bawat kabataan. Hindi lang na ang leader lang, sabihin natin isang youth leader lang, ang leader ng isang grupo ng kabataan ang may alam. At sa dapat eksakto ang information, synchronized siya. Sa environment din, sinabi kanina, actually yun, I'm dedicated talaga ng Greenpeace. Yung sa Hapas Lupa, sinabi na kanina yung Mark, regarding that. Pero sa environment din, kasi tayo mga kabataan din minsan ay masyadong post sa Facebook. Pero walang ginagawa. Sabi natin bawal ito, pero ginagawa din natin. If we're going to talk the walk, we should know how to walk the talk. Hindi lang nagsalita tayo. Complain tayo ng complain, pero minsan hindi natin ang ating mga sarili. Ano na nga ba ang iyong ginawa? May nagawa ka na ba sa bayan? At isipin natin, itong agenda, itong issues na ito, yung tatlong issues na ito, education, youth engagement, and environment. Lahat ng bagay ay magkakaugnay-ugnay. Lahat ng yun ay may kanya-kanyang factors na dapat natin isipin. At hindi lang dapat yun na kung ano ang magagawa ng gobyerno. Minsan tanongin din natin, ano ang magagawa natin para matulungan natin ang gobyerno. Kasi hindi pwede naasal tayo sa gobyerno. Kailangan din natin ilabas ang ating salungin, ilabas kung anong meron tayo para tulungan din tayo ng gobyerno. Dapat magtulungan. Tapos, hindi lang palagi karapatan, subrahan ang puso at karapatan. Kailangan din isipin natin mga kabataan kung ano ang ating roles at kung ano ang ating responsibilidad bilang kabataan. Opinion ko ba ito? Hindi ako po ito. At saka wala pa kung dito pinapatamaan. Sinasabi ko lang po kung anong meron ako at kung anong nag-deal sa akin. Maraming salamat.
Alright, thank you very much. I think feeling ko kaya bakante ka kasi I think there are no ones who will be doing it later. But anyway, Archa, before you...
Natuwa ako dun sa reaction mo. Kasi yun yung first point din natin. We need to look at the grassroots. Kasi nandun yung sabi nga may major problem. Na kagaya yan nangyayari ngayon, yung lumad killings. Sino ba ang lumad? Saan ba sila nanggaling? Hindi lahat ng taga-Maynila, tulad ko, hindi nila kilala ang mga lumad. Hindi lahat ng taga-Maynila nakarating ng Mindanao. Diba? So, marami tayong hindi na-address. Doon, kaya sabi mo masyadong napaka-ambisyoso kumilos, napaka-bilis kumilos, pero ang nangyayari, sumisikat. Hindi na-address na, kumaga sa ugat ng tao, hindi lahat ng sakit doon sa ugat, hindi nakikita. Kasi ang tinitignan, hindi maganda naman siya naglalakad naman siya, wala naman siyang lagnat, wala naman siyang ubo. Pero hindi natin alam, meron na pala siyang cancer doon at nasa stage 4 na. No? The Philippine 12 law, maganda, sabi nga, again, maganda, napakaganda. Pero, kumbaga sa pagkain, malnourished. Kaya, bakit kailangan natin kaming youth organization, maghanap kami ng isang training center na accredited ng TESDA para dadalhin sa mga guro to upgrade their knowledge for them to be ready sa K-12, lalo na sa senior high school. Bakit kailangan namin dalhin ang barista training, ang zero to wellness doon sa isang eskwelahan para i-address lahat ng mga teacher para magkaroon ng MC2? Bakit nagugulat ako? Bakit merong isang buong eskwelahan na kahit NC2 certificate, kahit isang guro wala. At kami pa yung kabataang hawak namin, kami pa yung nagdala sa kanila. May marami tayong dapat i-address. So yun nga lang, nakakalimutan natin kabataan yung ating responsibilidad. Marami sa atin, talk, pero yes, implementation, less action.
Kung kayo na pag-usapan, hindi natin ito implement, 18 years from now, reklamo naman tayo, and hindi talaga magapan, moving target talaga yung basics. But let us not try to discredit what has been happening. In fact, meron talaga, if you look at the numbers lang in terms of public school buildings, in terms of classrooms, there have been strides and heroes. I'm not discrediting na meron talaga na iwan parang sa laylayan. Pero we have to give credit to credit is due. Now, meron problema, I suggest you talk to your superintendent so that you can engage them. Kung may problema with corruption, we inform also them. Pero, tansya ko, hindi talaga gagawin yung 8-12, what is the cost? Ano yung presyo of inaction? Pag hindi ko gagawin ngayon, 18-20 years from now, walang iwanan natin na lahat ng Burmese, lahat ng Singaporean na dito sa Pilipinas, dahil hindi tayo nakapag, ng K-12. On another issue, let me have a concrete and give you some assignments. Kung gusto nyo tumulong sa out-of-school youth, may programa, signed by DepEd, NYC, and DILG kung abot ka lang. Ginagawa ko ng local government unit nyo o hindi? Yun ang tanong. Kung hindi ba inaabot, ang challenge kasi, there are 4 to 6 million out-of-school youth. 2 million pa lang ang namama or na database na out-of-school youth. Hindi ko to address. Nag-database ka lang. Ang na-address ito sa million ka lang. Ibig sabihin, ito pa lang yung nilalagay sa expanded alternative learning system. Kahit nga, meron pa rin katulangan sa meron pa rin katulangan at hindi talaga based on resources, kukulangin talaga. Kasi hindi naman 60 trillion ang budget natin, 1 trillion lang. Ano yung tayo within a specific year? But if titingnan nyo, meron tayo 1.5 billion na naman na kabataan na kailangan ng tulong nyo. Bigyan sila ng scholarship, bigyan sila ng bigyan sila ng skills training, i-map sila sa ibalik sila sa alternative learning system. So, if hindi yan ginagawa ng LGU nyo, i-report nyo sa DLG at sa DepEd, and then I'll gladly also follow up with them. Pero, at the minimum, kung gusto rin tumulong ng mag-education ng kabataan, that's one concrete example that you can do. And there are so many more we can talk of them.
Last two questions. I just want to add yung sinabi ni Sir Leon, no? We young people today's generation, we always limit ourselves in Facebook, no? Halos lahat ng mga reaction natin, yung stand, yung opinion natin, we always post it in Facebook. But parang kulang tayo sa action. So there are opportunities wherein we can actually sit down with our LGUs and then engage our LGUs in a discussion kung ano lang gusto natin gawin. Pero sa part naman ng LGU, ang ginagawa naman nila is parang they implement programs and projects na gusto nila. No? Hopefully, kung sino man yung pipiliin natin, yung mga leaders sana willing malaman ano talaga yung dreams at visions ng mga kabataan Pinoy. No, dapat ano man yung platforma, programa at proyekto nila, inline siya kung ano yung gustong maging, kung ano yung vision ng mga kabataan in the next 20 years or in the next 15 years. No? At sana yung mga programa at proyekto is inline siya towards achieving the said vision. Yun sana. But then again, our responsibility as young people, if we really want to make change to happen, we have to be very proactive. Punta tayo sa LGU, punta tayo sa kausapin natin yung mga department heads, and let's try to identify kung ano yung mga possible programa, proyekto na kung saan pwede tayo makasali. There are even times na merong budget hearing or budget consultation, but we don't involve ourselves. So dapat alamin natin kung ano yung anong buwan sa taon, ano yung month sa isang taon, kung nagkakaroon ng budget hearing, no, para mas maging involved tayo. So hindi natin nililimit yung involvement natin sa Facebook o sa social media.
Thank you. So now, next.
Hello po. Good evening. I'm Moore Hernandez po from the Coursing Garden, the publication, student publication for the UST. So, yung question ko is about education. Based on the latest World Economic Forum, Global Competitiveness Report, yung higher tertiary education po sa Philippines, noong 2010 po ay 69 siya out of 144 economies. Now, this year, 29th na po ang Philippines. So, makikita po dito, based on numbers and based on survey and research, na malaki po yung naitaas ng Philippines based on the tertiary education po, which is, we are also higher than Japan, China, and Korea. So sa tingin niyo po ba, kahit sino po ang sumagot, should we focus on advancing the global competitiveness of the institutions, public and private, or should we address the problems in the competency, local competency po, like meron po tinatawag na top 4 universities, which I think is not, parang it's not a good thing na yun po yung sasabihin. Kasi meron po mga schools na marami silang excellent students na hindi po napapansin. Pero based on quantity and quality din po siguro ito. So, what do you think po? Should we prioritize the internationalization of the schools, or should it be the local problems po? Yung i-address po natin. Thank you.
Okay, with other graphers, they will answer.
Okay, when you talk about, well, it depends on which you're citing WF, for, there are some others, depends on the language. You can really see that some of the universities will share. Depends on who they're paying and for how much. To be honest with you, kasi rather not look at the rankings per se, because you know, oh, you get okay, good, okay, not to, wala nang siya, wala nang ano. It's bad per se, because I don't want to look at that as a benchmark or gauge. The gauge really is, ano ba talagang life skills or pwede, yung calculate na future now ng education system natin that will tell our quality. Now, if you talk about internationalization, per se, I have nothing against it, but the process of internationalization, which is one of the criteria considered when you get the rankings, one university when it comes to internationalization would be marami siyang researchers na na-publish in international publication, meron siya mga exchange program between faculty, meron mga taga University na nag-teach, co-teach dito, or nag-co-research sa UP or other schools. But yun yung lang ibig sabihin ng internationalization in terms of the ranking na when we try to define it. Nothing for me against it, pero ano ba yung pagiging internationalized ng isang school? Natutugunan ba niya yung quality? Sabihin, yung nilalabas niya ng mga research or pananaliksik, nakakatulong ba sa tulong or alaman ng estudyante? So that paglabas siya ng edukasyon na yun, nag-graduate na yung pag-graduate niya, nagagamit niya, na-apply niya ang nakukuha niya from the research of that international teacher. Kung hindi, wag na lang. Dahil maraming din faculty, you can put this on record, ang dami mga academics ngayon, kasi yung makapublish lang, ay nako, hindi naman nakukuha ng mga policy makers ang pinapublish nila. Dahil halos medyo very esoteric or very, hindi talaga siya lubog kung ano yung nasa classroom sa sinasabi ka na nisabi. Kailangan ng internationalization, it should apply to the local as well. Ibig sabihin, you study ano yung programang lokal so that you can publish that internationally. Why not?
Is it okay if I just had answer that question? Simply because malapit ko talaga sa puso ko yung issue ng education. Because I'm an education major from De La Salle University. And it's something that I've been studying over the years. And siguro to answer that question, I would go with the latter. Let's go for local. And I would like to quote Mr. Gordon when he said that there is no national prescription in the problems of the Philippines simply because we are an archipelago. So our geographically, it divides us and gives us different kinds of problems. But on the brighter side, it gives us different kinds of industries. It gives us different kinds of skills. And there is excellence in that kind of diversity. So if our education system focuses on local, on being able to maximize and utilize the local industries, the local skills, and local capacities, then that's the time when we can go for internationalization, not in a way na hinahabol natin sila sa panggagaya, but in a way na tayo yung standard. So I would go with the latter on the direction of what the education should be.
All right, thank you. So let's go a bit before we acknowledge the last question.
For me, agree lang na actually sinabi na din yan. Pero if you're gonna choose between yung sabi mo kanina, it's really about inward looking. And I think yung flow of discussion also ina-affirm yun eh. Because, alam nyo, I've also been part of, kung makikita nyo sa Facebook, check out yung what we call sa Dawat Philippine, GK Enchanted Park. Sa Enchanted Park po, yung mga foreigners, yung mga from the Ivy League schools, makikita niyo sila doon, sila yung mga nagsiserve sa mga Pilipino. Sila yung mga nagdadamo, sila yung mga nagtatanim ng mga citronella dyan sa isang hektarya dyan. Or sila yung mga nagtatanim ng ube dito, whatever, what have you. Bakit ko kinikwento yun? Because siguro kailangan ng muli pag-appreciate nung kung anong yaman ng bansa natin. And then we can see yung inward looking capacity natin, siguro i-activate natin yun, yung sense of goodness and richness of this land. And then siguro yun yung magandang benchmark. Ang ganda pala ng bayan ko. Dati, dun sa Bulacan, sa Enchanted Park, yung naglalaro lang ako sa mga tanglad, yung mga kung ano-ano dyan. Hindi ko alam, ganito pala yan ka in demand elsewhere. So, it also drives the question na siguro it also affirms yung second statement. Siguro, tignan natin ito bilang pagpapaganda o pagpapabuti of what we have. Pero, pangyayabang din natin nung meron kami gusto niyo. Meron kami ganito gusto niyo. So, yun siguro yung sagot nila.
Our last question, please. Magandang gabi po sa atin na ako po si Professor Angel Suarez, guro po ng Political Science mula po sa Polytechnic University of the Philippines. Siguro po, nakakalungkot, hindi nakarating yung mga presidential candidates natin. Pero alam ko po na marami po sa amin ang hindi makatulog kagabi dahil po excited po kami dapat na makita sila. Tama ba? Kaya po siguro po, isa po sa gusto ko sana na itanong sa mga panelists natin ngayong gabi nito. Paano po kaya natin i-define ang salitang presidential? Kasi ang akala ko ng ibang tao, pag ikaw ay presidential, ikaw ay kumakandidato bilang presidente. Pero naniniwala po kasi po yung word ng presidential, dapat ano nga ba yung mga qualities, traits para magpilit ang kabataan ng presidente. At sana po yung Philippine Youth Congress ngayong gabi, ma-define natin sino ba yung dapat samahan ng kabataan sa election 2016. Maraming salamat. What a way to Yes. So what would be what do you think as dun sa question na yun? So let's hear from our panel.
Okay. Sa akin kasi, ako very particular ako dun sa issues. Issues na pinagdadaanan ng bawat kandidato. At tinitingnan din natin kung ano yung nagawa niya na pwede niyang gawin pa at ipagpatuloy. That is one of those things. Hindi ko tinitignan kung siya ay nag-graduate sa ganitong eskwelahan, kung siya ba ay international lawyer, kung siya ba ay mayaman, kung siya ba ay mahirap. Walang kwenta yun eh. The principle of God, no matter how intelligent are you, no matter how rich are you, you're nothing in His eyes until you reach His knowledge. And the knowledge is go to the list of your brethren. If you know how to address their needs, that is the perfect presidential role. Thank you.
Thank you, Bishop. Next.
Okay. For me naman, first, I'm from Davao City, so I'll be biased. Kung sakaling tatakbo or hindi ka naman pinipili. Alam ko na siya, pero hindi ko siya consider this. So I'll be biased. Siguro sa akin is mag-maintain yung sustainable development. Kasi sustainable development, mayroon three components like considering economic, environment, and social development. Dapat yung tatlo pantay-pantay. Hindi na lamang yung economics environment or social environment. Dapat silang tatlo will work hand in hand to attain a sustainable development. If you, I'll be biased. So if you go to Davao City, you can see na doon sa Davao City, if nakapunta na kayo, I think you will agree naman siguro na economically, booming na rin yung Davao. Socially, yung mga policies ng Davao City is parang landmark ordinances yung ginagawa ng Davao City, like the anti-smoking ordinance, the underworld ordinance, discrimination ordinance namin. And yung recently yung mining ordinance namin, so it addresses our environment also. Davao City has this ordinance na closing of of Davao City to any mining industries or any mining parang ang tawag yan, activities, yes, activities. So, parang doon, makikita nyo na mayroon talagang sustainable development na tinatahak yung Davao City. Kasi, economically, socially, and environmentally, nag-maintain yung tatlong component to attain that sustainable development. So, in case, natatak ko si Mayor. Pero, I'm not, this is my personal opinion to that, yun. Pero, sa akin, kung ano man, kung sino man sa kanila, I hope they are willing to listen to the voices of the young people kasi sila naman yung sila yung ma-apektuhan kung ano man yung mga and the young people should also know how to scrutinize yung mga hindi na kayo huwag lang yung titingin sa pangalan, but tumingin kayo sa track record ng presidential candidate kung meron ba siyang nagawa na pwede niyang gawin pa, sabi nga ni Sir, na pwede niya pang magawa for the country. Yun. So, para sa akin din, as part of this forum sa I am Hapastupa, and I am proud to be Hapastupa, I will just end my to this saying, kasi nakita ko to, galing ako papunta ako dito to attend this congress. Nakita ko sa isang sasakyan, nakalagay doon, kakain kayo ng bigas, maging sino naman. So I hope, kahit yung presidente, kakain siya ng bigas. So dapat i-consider niya rin yung part ng agriculture sa agenda niya. Kasi dapat hindi na papag-iwanan yung agriculture. So siya mismo nakaka-benefit sa agrikultura. So siya dapat, ay pagtulan na rin dapat ng pansin ang agrikultura ng ating bansa.
Mayor Sumagot, I wear different hats. I'm here as the former National Youth Commission Chairman and Executive Director, but be so sure I'm also supporting a presidential candidate. If you support the different candidates, and if you just really engage, hindi pwede sila lang i-build, di ba? Hindi pwede sila lang i-qualify. I think we should really engage, and I have more young people participating in the elections because I want young people to be a voice in 2016 so that some of you can run for public office in 2019 or 2022. So, having said that, I'm also part of the movement for good governance. So, saan meron pa tayo? Patuloy, effective ba? Effective, sabihin, hindi mo siya malak sa ginagawa niya. Pag binigyan mo, inalasan mo, binigyan mo sa baka papalak lang siya. Wala siyang nagawa. Despite sabihin niya siya ng malaking responsibilidad. Palpak na siya. Meron pa resulta ng ginagawa. Effective na siya. Second is empowering. Ibig sabihin, kasama ba ng kabayan when he or she makes policies and decisions. Dapat empowering siya. Dapat kasama yung boses ng kabataan, yung sektor sa pagugulman ng pagkakraft ng mga polisiya. So empowering dapat. Third is ethical na siya. Respeto ba siya sa human rights o pumapatay ba siya ng tao? Meron ba siya mga unexplained wealth na nakaw? Kailangan talaga malaman at explain to, and you can only get this information if they debate. I will not defend the presidential candidate, but I know they are in another debate right now, which is 6 o'clock tonight. Perhaps you can watch that. I would suggest, I would still go back to effective ba sila, empowering and ethical. Lalo na, I think, mostly for young people, I think ayaw natin sa magnanakaw, ayaw natin sa corruption, malaki din yung issue for young people. But for young people especially, tingnan nyo yung youth agenda nila. Rest assured, I'm taking notes, yung kandidato sa support natin, hindi ko na sasabihin, dahil hindi naman yung at-winner ko, inipinit ko talaga itong malang informasyon ito. But I would suggest for each and every person to really put a stake. I'm speaking as a former National Youth Commission Chair. You really have to be political right now kasi hindi pwede tanggalin natin ang ating political hat. One good example about agriculture or about mining. For example, even if no matter how many trees we all plant and grow in one mountain or how many mountains, isang polisiya lang dahil mali ang binoto natin na konseho or mayor, talagang not obliterated or wash out yung lahat. Diba? Tanggal yan because of one policy. Kaya ilang beses tayo mag-tree growing, tree planting. So mahalaga pa rin ang political na dimension sa ating pagkatao, sa ating pagiging kabataan. Tingnan mo po maraming sa
Okay, sa akin naman, it's tatlo. Firstly, to identify ko yung mga issues na pinapagawa sa mga presidential roles. Pangalawa is yung track record nila, kung anong nagawa na nila in the past. And then pangatlo is kung ano yung agenda nila, yung plataforma. So, we have to consider yung platform nila in choosing our president for 2016. And other than that, parang napansin ko din na yung mga kabataan, may kanya-kanya tayong, di ba, may kanya-kanya tayong criteria, may kanya-kanya tayo sinusuportahan. Pero, on a more, personal note, parang, mas pipiliin ko yung tao na sa tingin ko, nakatulong sa akin kung ano ako ngayon. So I came from Davao City also. I graduated in Davao City National High School. But after graduation, I decided to move in Cebu City. No, it's because job opportunities during that time ay halos wala pa. No, it was already late when we had our call center industries in Davao. Oh, so yung time na yun, I was working with Mayor Duterte, also under community relations program team when I became one of the Rodi project recipients, recognizing Australian Davao. So I decided to move to Cebu because, government employee yung mother ko, pero I find it difficult, my mother would find it difficult to sustain yung kung ano yung needs namin sa pamilya. So I decided to move to Cebu. There, I was able to land a job in a BPO BPO company. Natapos ako because of BPO job. And now I'm working with DILG as a community mobilizer, ensuring that all CSOs are empowered to participate in deciding kung ano yung mga PUD projects na dapat i-implement sa grassroots. So yun yung kinonsider ko is really more on personal. Kung ano yung experience ko, ano yung nakita ko, at kung ano yung sa tingin ko na mas nakakatulong sa lahat, especially for the young people.
Thank you, Paolo. Last, Vic. Ako mahirap din kasi kung taga Davao kayo, taga Quezon City ako, so suporta ko si Bayaw. Siyempre si Bayaw yung kandidato ko, so ano bang features ni Bayaw, hindi ko promote ko sa inyo. Siguro gusto kong ibangga yung personal, kasi ako wala pa. Honestly, wala pa. Nasa process pa kami ng wife ko, Sir Nico. And gusto ko ibangga on, siguro sa maganda rin pang-end, kasi gusto ko ibangga on the truth about you. Meaning, paano ba tayo mas magiging engaged? Paano ba natin mas susuportahan o paano ba tayo mag-wear ng political hat sa pagpili natin ng kandidato, whether a president or a councilor. Una, siguro kung lahat sila ako din may tatlong letters. Una, inform. Tayo mga kabataan, number one, we are truth seekers. Kaya tayo madaling mang-bash. Pagalan natin plastic. Pagalan natin hindi totoo. Ang dali natin, parang papanatan natin. So, we should be well informed. Can that leader tell me straight in the eye what really happened? And what's happened? Diba ang maging honest ka na lang, kaya kasi kitang tanggapin kahit hindi yan popular position. Pero tell me the truth. Because us, the youth, are truth seekers. We can tell you if you're lying. And we will, yari ka sa atin kung magsisinungaling ka. Second, inspired. And that leader inspired me to take on or take on his or her lead, even if unpopular yung decision. Kung ganun yung integrity niya, ganun siya yung kanina pa natin napapakinggan yung walk na to. Yung nakikita mo talaga yung authenticity of totoo yung sinasabi niya. Then, can that leader inspire me to follow whatever policy, whatever program yung gusto niyang gawin, yung direction niya for this country. Third, siguro yung on a personal note, so inform, inspire, and involved. And that leader engages me to volunteer for him or her. Siguro dahil yun yung isang pangatlong criteria ko. Kasi parang, gusto ko lang ng masayang ending. Parang hindi ko nakikita i-invite ako ni Mayor Duterte to volunteer for him. Diba? Hindi joke lang naman. Pero gusto ko lang, parang nakakatakot na siya. Parang sabi na niya, gagawin niya to, sige, hindi mo na palang kailangan, thank you. So, ganun ba? So, again, I'm still deserving. Gusto ko lang masaya tayo umuwi ngayon. Pero, for me, that's important, tell me the truth, inspire. You inspire me to do more and to follow you. And third, involve.
Let's give one more round for our panel of yes, I'm going to give you the challenge and Charlie will be giving you the announcement of what this is all about. Definitely, this is the first Philippine Youth Congress, but not the last. And I will keep it short. Enough has been said. Much has been said about our generation. We are the second generation simply because they label us as narcissists. That they think of us na self-centered tayo, mga sarili selfish, at wala tayong pakialam sa kanila. That's how I believe the majority sees us. But this election, be the election, mapapatunayan natin hindi ko. That I care for my future. That I care for this 6 years, for this next 6 years of my life, na may pakialam ako kung sino yung mabubulo sa akin. And now my challenge to you is, let this be part of your daily conversation. Na sino presidente ba ang nagsasalita tungkol sa issue na may kinalaman sa akin? Na kanino ko ba nararamdaman na pag siya ang naging presidente, hindi ako malileft out kasi may pakialam siya sa akin. And another challenge is something na Charlie and I agreed on. It's actually a statement that came from him. Is let this be the election na kakabahan ng mga presidential votes. Kasi nakikinig, nanunood at willing makipag-converse ng kabataan. So, Charlie, thank you, Raymond. And also, just from my end, I think the very reason that we're doing this thing, as mentioned by Rainer, is that this is not a one-time event. We are going forward that by March, we will be having also another Philippine Youth Congress, whereas the candidates will be here in front of us, speaking in whatever their platforms would be. So help us to do that. So if ever we can gather a number of youth groups or organizations who would be willing to engage with our potentials or even our candidates, please do help us also. And siguro just to have a quick idea of what's happening for today, I think the very reason also that the 2016 election is a game changer for the political landscape in the Philippines is because despite the social media activity or despite the technological advancement, I think the very thing that the youth is looking forward is kung sino nga ba ang isang pinuno o i-representa sa akin at magsasabi sa akin na kung ako yung tatakbo, ito yung gagawin ko. And with that, I think the very reason for youth agenda that we were talking about is sana hindi lang matapos with this Philippine Youth Congress. We hope and we believe that for the next month before we reach the PYC 2.0, we will be able to gather a number of youth agenda that we talked about together with our friends, barkada, with our family, so that even we have tangible evidence or tangible information we can check them and say it to them that this should be part of the agenda. And with that, thank you very much, guys, and also please do calendar also we're targeting the PYC 2.0 should be on March. So that wait for the announcements, but I believe that today's youth is really a great number for each and every one of us. And from Youth for Philippines, I'm Charlie Madonna, and please do remember, boto ko, bumoto ng tama Pilipinas. Maraming salamat. Thank you so much. Also, hindi na PYC 2.0 yung akalan natin, abangan din natin yung PYC sa social media. Kasi tulad kayo na sinabi kanina, kung ayaw nilang pumunta sa atin, pupuntahan natin sila. So, I'm really Sanchez to be your future. Thank you so much for coming. Alright, thank you very much. Thank you.